distinguished guests, thoughtful conversationists, and honorable leaders from around the world. My name is Caroline Hoover, and I'm a student at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where I'm majoring in medical anthropology and peace, war, and defense, and minoring in Eastern European and Slavic language and literature. It is such a great honor to be here in this room with so many passionate and impactful women. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to Susanna Relford and Running Start, not only for sponsoring me to be at this forum, but also for encouraging me and other young women like me to believe in our voices, to know that we can cause change in the communities that we care about. I'm here today to talk about equal representation, particularly in local politics, where it's often overlooked. I was born and raised in a very small community nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains of rural Appalachia, with a population of only 1,000. Growing up, I learned just how important it is to look out for others, the value of resilience, and the power of local politics. These beliefs were sparked right within my own home. In 2008, a time of great strife and pain for so many people, in an act of true bravery, my single mom started a small business. I saw in her the empathy and the strength that constitute the bedrock of rural Appalachia. Even as she fought every day to keep her small business afloat, she always took the time to invest in her local community through politics, attending town forums, running campaigns for candidates she believed in, and raising her voice on behalf of her community and the women she loved. She sought to change political systems that were not built to benefit them. I learned from her just how important women's perspectives are in politics. She empowered me through her civic activism. I learned that policies are bettered through the compassion, creativity, and love of women that are seeking to enact change. I followed in her footsteps and became involved in our local Chamber of Commerce's Committee on Community Engagement and Governance, on an initiative focused on empowering women with children who are facing severe poverty in rural Appalachia. I listened intently as the male members of the committee debated how best to benefit these women. And I was shocked. On an initiative that was focused on giving essential resources to women facing severe poverty in rural Appalachia, not once were diapers, tampons, or access to family planning resources discussed. When I brought this to the surface and discussed it, I was affirmed by the positive response I received. It was clear that the members of the committee wanted to do right by their committee, and they were open to hearing a new perspective and shifting their viewpoint. But I also learned how crucial it is that women are at the decision-making table in local politics. I took this understanding with me to the NGO Rock the Vote as the North Carolina State Coordinator, where I led initiatives and trainings registering young people to vote and focusing on spreading the word about the female candidates on the ballot. When I think about my mom, the representation of a civically active woman with a voice, it's irreplaceable. She has met every obstacle in her path with grace and positivity, always investing in her community, always making space and time to demonstrate how important the power of local politics is. 50% of small businesses in the United States don't survive past 5 years. That number is staggeringly higher for women-run small businesses. Women who are determined, who represent these things, are vital because they are the keepers of the flame for the next generation of women and girls. They serve as the inspiration for the pilot lights that exist within so many that are just waiting to ignite. The perfect place to start these fires is right within their own communities. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished conversationists, and honorable leaders from around the world. My name is Alexis Williams, a third-year biology major, chemistry and health education double minor from the renowned Howard University in Washington, D.C. I'm a proud Running Start alum, cabinet member of the Howard University Student Association, and a biomedical researcher at the National Institute of Health with a focus on breast cancer. It is an honor to take the stage at the Reykjavik Global Forum. I'm filled with gratitude to be here, as 15 years ago, the little black girl from North Carolina would be in awe of the dreams I'm fulfilling today. I want to thank you all for joining me today to discuss a critical issue that is paramount to me as a black woman pursuing a career in oncology: equal pay. In the realm of healing and well-being, it is disheartening to acknowledge that a gender pay gap still exists within the medical profession. Medicine is a noble calling, a field where individuals commit their lives to the service of others, irrespective of gender. However, the harsh reality is that despite the strides we've made in all areas of equality, many areas of equality, the gender pay gap continues to persist in the medical field. Addressing the gender pay gap in medicine requires a multifaceted approach. It begins with a commitment from healthcare institutions to conduct regular and transparent pay equity audits. We must identify and rectify any disparities that exist, ensuring that merit, not gender, determines compensation. There needs to be a culture of mentorship and sponsorship for women in medicine that can help break down barriers to career advancement. We need to engage with policymakers, medical associations, and the public to drive systemic change that ensures fair compensation for all healthcare professionals. So, I challenge you all to leave with this. As we strive to advance medical science and improve patient outcomes, let us also commit ourselves to dismantling the barriers that hinder the progress of more than half of our healthcare workforce. Together, we can create a medical profession where every health professional, regardless of gender, is recognized, respected, and rewarded fairly for their invaluable contributions to the health and well-being of our global communities. Achieving equal pay in medicine is not just a matter of economic justice, but a prescription for a healthier and more equitable future. Thank you.
Greetings, global leaders and distinguished conversationalists. It's my great privilege and honor to stand before you today. My name is Sherra Bennett, and I bring you greetings from the United States by the way of Arkansas, where I serve as an equity officer at the Winthrop Rockefeller Foundation. I'm also a two-time graduate of the University of Michigan, where I was first introduced to the Running Start program. I am an extremely proud Running Start alum and send my sincere gratitude to Susanna Wilford, the founder and executive director. We all thank you for your vision for young women. So I am here today to have a conversation about the state of equal parental leave and share some context. So I do have a little bit of bad news, but also I'll leave with some good news pertaining to how not having equal parental leave impacts the economic growth of women and countries. And I'm also here to rally a call to action and advocacy for good for growth, common sense policies and practices that will bring greater prosperity to us all. The United Nations estimates that 140 million babies are born globally every year. Raising a family is generally a cherished goal for many working people. Yet with the current lack of equal parental leave policies in most countries, we're choosing, by way of policy and action, to disrupt and slow our economic growth while driving and increasing social inequity. According to the Washington Center for Equitable Growth, my home country, the United States, remains the only high-income country without a national paid family leave policy, which also means we lack equal parental leave policies. Now, I have a fun fact that might be alarming to some, but shouldn't. Women are as important to the workforce as fathers are to their family units. And when we don't support equal parental leave, we hurt the entire family. Our current policies surrounding equal parental leave reinforce inequitable gender stereotypes, devalue the important role and impact of fathers, and give mothers a disproportionate burden of parenting duties. And the truth of the matter is this bankrupts families both emotionally and financially. So I told you all I had a bit of good news. So now that I've shared that current context, I want to leave us with this. Hope does exist, and together we can courageously chart a new course for families in the very near future. I have been inspired to hear how everyone in this room has committed to catalyzing the momentum of the forum into action. So I want to leave us all with a few things we can do to achieve equal parental leave in our home countries. First, get informed. Organized intersectional data is powerful. Continue to arm yourself with the facts concerning equal parental leave. Find your tribe. Identify like-minded co-conspirators and form a values-aligned advocacy coalition or action committee. Speak truth to power. Identify your local, state, and national legislators and reach out to their offices about the effects of the status quo concerning equal parental leave policies. Mobilize your co-conspirators and provide stories and data of the impact felt to the constituents and communities they represent due to the current state of play. Now, I do have a bonus as a Running Start alum that I must share, and I implore every woman under the sound of my voice to run for office. Ample opportunity exists for women to move from the position of speaking truth to power to holding the power that will speak truth for us all. Together, we can do the right thing for families that makes good common sense, drives economic growth, and fosters positive and equitable societal change. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for giving me the opportunity of speaking today. I'm Lyssa Schei Davids, a graduate of the University of Montana. So for those of you that watch Yellowstone, yes, I have met Kevin Costner, and the Center for Anticipatory Intelligence at Utah State University. I am also immensely honored to be among a league of distinguished young Running Start alumni like myself, and thank the Running Start team for inviting me to this beautiful country. I am forever indebted to you. I'm an aspiring novelist, current political activist, but most importantly, an unapologetic girl's girl. And I fully embrace when someone tells me I do something like a girl. I totally run like a girl. This year, we've seen a girlhood renaissance in the Western Hemisphere. Between Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, Beyoncé's Renaissance Tour, and Greta Gerwig's Barbie, I have watched it as women step into the innate power of connecting with their younger selves. But let me tell you a story. When I was in college, I was sexually assaulted by my then boyfriend. This is my first time publicly sharing this experience, which hurt me deeply. Despite my wide support net of friends and family, this experience left me unable to trust. I felt isolated, traumatized, and angry. This anger forced me to reconcile with the outer, more violent ramifications of girlhood, the collateral damage that comes with identifying as a woman, and I know many of you can relate. Think of this. 1 in 3 women worldwide experience gender-based violence at some point in their lifetime. It knows no societal, national, or economic barriers, thus impacting women across the globe. To some, gender-based violence looks like the patriarchal assumption that female bodies exist only for male pleasure. For others, it looks like the fear of honor killings that people live with every single day of their lives. It sounds like the song Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke. You know, the one, you want to get nasty, talking about getting plastered. It sounds like men that don't take no for an answer. And it sounds like the harmful rhetoric that prevent young women and girls from seeking education and opportunity every single day on our planet. It is the fact that we're told that we should approach policies and politics like a boy. Gender-based violence looks like a burden of responsibility we should not be asked to shoulder for simply just existing. This shouldn't be our reality, but it is. I know that as policymakers and business leaders, we can reclaim girlhood by eradicating this issue. In the age after Me Too, we must teach the next generation to have empathy, listen to others, and most importantly, how violence can echo through generations of young women long after it is experienced. In order to do this, I personally have worked with various nonprofits throughout my local area, and I also work with Coeur d'Alene Fashion Week in order to raise awareness and money after the horrific sexually motivated violence that we saw ending in the murder of 4 students at the University of Idaho. I encourage others to utilize resources from groups like the One Love Foundation that teaches young people about red and green flags in relationships, and the United Nations to address the systemic issue on a local level. As we all know, the most effective change is made when we can make actionable impact in our local circles. So what's my call to action for this room? I'll tell you. Be brave enough to use your voice in all echelons of involvement. One of my personal heroes is Malala Yousafzai. And she once wisely said, "I raise up my voice, not so that I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard." While we may feel as though gender-based violence is imbued in the innate experience of girlhood and womanhood, I challenge everyone in this room to do what they can to stand up against it and prevent its growing normalization. Do all of the things that society tells us not to do. Use your voice, be a leader, and most importantly, fight like a girl to end this issue. Because this isn't just my story. It's not just your story. It's our story. And together we can end gender-based violence. Thank you.